Good afternoon. As we prepare for our April break, I would like to take this time to congratulate and welcome back our students to in-person learning. Due to the efforts of many, we were able to bring back grades K-5 to our buildings the week of April 5th. And it was great to see the return of our students grades 6 through 12 Monday the 12th. Our return rate for students in K-5 has averaged about 85%, and I'm hearing the numbers are close to that in grades 6 through 12. Our successful return demonstrates the ability of our staff, administrators, and our students to adapt to the ever-changing school environment we find ourselves working and learning in day to day. Over the last several weeks, I have been working with our bus company to provide some additional transportation for our students. As you know, general transportation was removed from our budget for this year in an attempt to balance a deficit we faced. This was a difficult decision for the school committee members, and the result was to provide mandated transportation for students grades K through 6 who live 2 miles from their schools. This limited Saugus to only having 2 buses for the year. As COVID restrictions for bus travel became less stringent, the school committee asked me to look into the possibility of increasing our student transportation for the remainder of this year. Starting on Monday, April 26th, we will be able to offer transportation for students K-12 who live 1.5 to 2 miles from their schools. This will increase ridership by nearly 150 students. We will be providing bus passes for grades 6 through 12, which they will need to ride the bus. The difficulty we face right now is the lack of trained bus drivers. I will be adhering tightly to the 1.5 to 2 mile range at this time. Should another bus become available to Saugus, I will examine the possibility of expanding ridership. But at this time, with 2 buses, I'm running a 4-tier pickup and drop off at the complex, then shifting into my elementary runs. Our bus company just does not have the drivers. I know traffic patterns have been a concern since our return. We are working closely with Saugus Police to ensure we can create the most efficient and safe way to move our students to and from school buildings. And again, I ask everyone to be patient with us as we make adjustments to these new policies, which we are compelled to follow on drop-off and pickup of students. Over the last week, the elementary schools have absolutely made adjustments that make it a little bit better to get kids dropped off and picked up. And I know the complex, still in its first week, has already seen an improvement in the patterns. On a totally different topic, the district has partnered with CIC, which is a state agency involved in creating pool testing sites in schools. It is my hope to begin the process of screening for COVID-19 in our schools in the very near future. I believe this is a solid step in keeping our students in school a safe and healthy environment. This screening or pool testing is designed to identify people, students or adults, who do not show symptoms associated with being affected. Pool testing involves mixing 10 individual test samples into one pool, one collective group, and then that pool is tested. This approach increases the number of individuals that can be tested at any one time and allows us to regularly test our school community for COVID-19. These tests are less intrusive and require just a gentle, shallow nasal swab for all participating students and staff members who have signed consent. Students in grades 2 through 12 will be able to self-swab under the direct supervision of a health associate. And grade 1 students and younger will be swabbed by a trained health personnel. Test samples collected on site are sent to an outside lab for processing. We will receive notice on the pools that were tested within 24 to 48 hours. If the result of the pool is negative, then all individuals are presumed not to have COVID-19. If the result of the pool is positive, then all individuals in the pool must be retested individually. Because pool testing does not give individual results, you will only be individually notified if your child requires follow-up testing. We're also looking to engage in symptom testing. Now, this is a little different. The process is similar, but it's an individual test. So if a child or an adult comes to school and they're not feeling well once here, we will use a rapid, shallow nasal swab test that produces results in 15 minutes. Parents, guardians, caregivers must provide written consent to have students tested. We're looking to start the rollout of our pool testing at the 612 complex. And again, moving forward, there'll be no testing without consent forms. Parents will be informed. We will have more information being sent out on a regular basis before any testing actually happens in our schools. But we do believe that is a logical next step for us as we bring our students back and create that healthy, safe environment. Overall, I was very pleased with our reentry to schools over the last few weeks. Our staff and administrators did a great job getting us through the process. It has been a collective effort by all Saugus School employees to make this happen. So on behalf of the Saugus School Committee, administrators, staff, we appreciate the continued support this community has provided us during this time. Again, I thank you always for your patience with us and your willingness to work with a school district that's doing its best to come back to a sense of normal as we emerge out of this virus. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon.